Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com, and thanks to the folks at Helio, Virgin Mobile Helio, I've been able to test out the new Helio Ocean 2. You may have seen the unboxing video. I've had the phone now for I guess about a week, and I've been carrying it around, hammering on it, making phone calls, listening to music, and doing a lot of messaging. The Ocean 2, as Helio fans, Helionauts, as I've heard them called, heard you call yourself, the Ocean 2 is successor to the Ocean, which pioneered this kind of interesting dual sliding format. So you've got the phone, D-pad, screen on top, and everything. Light up. Did the battery die? There we go. Now it's on. So your screen on top, and one sliding keypad this way for your dialing, and then a second sliding keypad that way, QWERTY board for messaging. So the screen auto rotates depending on which you're holding the phone, and you can dial, you can do all your messaging. Interesting form factor, and as I'll show you in a second, Pantech, who builds the Ocean and Ocean 2, has now spun this form factor out into a few other phones on AT&T, so I'll show you those in a second. But the Ocean 2, interesting device. The Ocean, when it first came out 2 years ago, kind of ahead of its time, kind of a supercharged messaging phone, not quite a smartphone, but it could do a lot of things that other messaging phones couldn't. Now, 2 years later, the Ocean 2, not all that much different really from the original, but it's pretty cheap. 149 bucks on contract, and the contracts start, Helio through Virgin Mobile now, start at 65 bucks for 500 minutes of voice and unlimited data monthly. So unlimited web, messaging, GPS, all that stuff, which is a pretty good deal when you compare to some of the other big carriers out there if you're going to be using all the data and all the messaging all the time. The thing is, the device itself, how does it perform? Let's check it out. Hey, when you're done watching this video, go play the One Pod Bandit over on PhoneDog or our Facebook page. You can win an iPod Touch, you can win a cell phone, it's free, it's easy, you can play 10 times a day, alright? Go do it! Good luck! Alright, so as mentioned, the Ocean form factor has kind of spawned a couple of offshoots here from Pantech. So this is the Ocean 2. Up here on the upper left is the Matrix, we'll start on the right actually, the Matrix, which is a messaging phone for AT&T. Similar form factor, similar design, you can see also with the dual sliding. So here's your keyboard, your QWERTY keyboard, and then here's your dialing pad. And then up here on the left is the new Matrix Pro, which is actually a Windows 6.1 smartphone. Again, similar thing with the dual sliding QWERTY board and dialing pad. But that's just, to show you the trend that the Ocean started. The original Ocean, actually still available from Helio Virgin Mobile. They're blowing it out for, I'm gonna double check here, but I think it was 99 bucks? 79 bucks. As right now, the original Ocean, if you're interested in that. But here's the Ocean 2. You can see my Michael Jordan video wallpaper there. MJ, All-Star Game. Anyway, so the new Ocean 2, done up in red, the red trim, kind of nice. Couple big changes. They also built this new one with a 3.5mm headphone jack, which I like. Unfortunately, the micro SD card slot is hidden behind the battery cover. You got to go in here, you got to open it up, and even worse, it's behind the battery itself. So you have to actually pull out the battery to dig in to get to the micro SD card slot, which, a minor annoyance. It's a 3G phone, runs on Sprint's network, and like I said, I've been using it for a while. And to get back to the comparison, actually, just to show you these other two phones, I really like the Ocean's keyboard. It's a little bit bigger than the Matrix and the Matrix Pro, and has a different style of keys. Instead of having the plastic, kind of separated chiclet style keys that the Matrix and Matrix Pro have, the Ocean 2 is kind of more like a membrane style, where there's one continuous membrane over all the keys and the buttons underneath. I've actually found it really pretty nice to type on. Takes a little bit of getting used to, like any new keyboard does. And some of the keys a little bit sort of strange, or just not used to how they have the symbol key. @ keys are starting to show up in different, or rather on many more phones now, but always in a different place. So I test all these different phones, and I always have to kind of go hunting for the @ key. But I'll show you how the keyboard works. Here's the main menu. Helio's got this circular main menu thing, which some people I showed it to actually absolutely hated it. Other people, thought it was just kind of fun and different. Me, it just kind of is what it is. You just have to kind of get used to it. The one thing that is a little bit of a drag with it is, it's not really a drag, it's just I had to kind of get used to scrolling around it. And you can see I just keep pressing left and the icons just keep going in a clockwise motion, and then I can go right and then they kind of zoom across and then start going counterclockwise. So just some, you know, strange little quirks like that that aren't a big deal. And again, if you bought the phone, or if you had the phone and you were using it, you'd get used to them pretty quickly. But you know, me reviewing all the different phones, jumping from phone to phone, these little quirks throw me off sometimes. So we'll show you the messaging real quick. One of the best things about the original Ocean and the Ocean 2 is the integrated messaging box. You've got support for all manner of email, IM, SMS, all that kind of stuff, and it's all under one integrated messaging inbox. So I've got my SMS and MMS, I've got my Helio Mail, there's Exchange support if you want it, Yahoo Mail, AOL and Google, I'll get back to those in a second, Windows Live, Earthlink, and then you can add your own email account, which you can go, you know, if you know your own settings for your server, you can add that right in. So what's really nice about the Helio messaging inbox here with the Google and the AOL is once you sign in, so here's my Google, I sign in, and I've got in a tabbed order here, I've got all my Google messaging options. So I've got my contacts list, I've got my Gtalk conversations, I've got my email box, you know, all kind of in one spot. And I can actually be logged in to multiple protocols at once. So I'll sign into AIM also, and then it'll load up my box and whatever. And then I can, you know, when I get a notification, if I get new email or I get a new text message, I can kind of go back and forth between the different boxes. And that's great because a lot of people these days have, you know, more than one email account, more than one IM account, that kind of thing. And it makes it, you know, easier to manage all your different messaging needs all in one spot. You can also stay logged in, and you can go do other stuff. So I can be here and I'll compose a text message, and we'll try out the keyboard here. And you know, again, I really found the keyboard pretty easy to use. It's the membrane style, so it's not the best action in the world, but definitely usable. Nice big keys. It's a bulky phone, it's a big phone. But the benefit to it being a big phone is you get, you know, plenty of room. Even though at first I thought, oh, I'm going to bump into the top layer here when I'm typing on the top row of the keyboard. Never really an issue. Double wide space bar is, you know, not huge but big enough to use. There you go. This funny symbol key, which I had to kind of get used to. You hit it once, you get symbols. You hit it twice, you get emoticons. It's not really funny. It's just I wasn't quite sure how it worked when I first was using it. And so there you go. And so the messaging works pretty well. And again, you know, it's all integrated, which is nice. So we'll go back. We'll show you music and video. You can download music, you can stream music and video, you can buy stuff from the Helio store, all that kind of thing. It's got an organizer, apps. So you've got a YouTube client, MySpace client, Opera Mini, which is nice, comes pre-installed if you don't want to use the built-in browser. Google Maps, GPS, or Buddy Beacon, Garmin Mobile, all use the integrated GPS. And, you know, minor lag sometimes, not too bad. When I first opened it, I was a little bit wary, but definitely, you know, not too bad, just a little bit here and there. Camera, 2 megapixel camera on the back, no flash. But it works. And you can capture video as well. Camera's fine, you know, it's average or a little below average by today's standards for a camera phone camera. But really, you know, unless you're looking at high-end stuff where you want to be printing out your photos afterwards, it's just fine. The Helio Up service makes it pretty easy to upload your photos to Facebook or Flickr. And, you know, it's easy enough to get them Bluetooth or on the SD card or, you know, data cable, get them over to your computer for doing stuff with. What I liked about the original Ocean, and it carries over, is the integrated search. So I can search for, I'll just start typing from the home screen, and I'll do a search for Tiger Woods. And right away I can go to email, so if I have Tiger Woods in my contacts, I can go to email, or just hit the button to go to search. having some problems here apparently downloading stuff. There we go. And there you go. So it did the straight up search. It also got my location. I'm in the San Francisco area. I'm in Berkeley, San Francisco, close enough. And so my search results from Yahoo, Helio-based search results, all downloads, news articles, web images. So kind of a nice integrated search feature there. Wikipedia results, all that stuff. Go back up to the top. And you can see I get tabbed results. So I get Google results, Wikipedia results, Amazon results, and location-based results as well. So kind of a nice, nice little web browser, a little more robust, a little more Web 2.0 than your average web browser, let alone your average mobile web browser. So really pretty well done. Not all that, the software is actually not all that different from the original Ocean, which makes me a little sad because the original Ocean came out 2 years ago. And, this phone is kind of more of a refinement, an evolutionary product over the original Ocean than a revolutionary product. And a lot of that has to do with what Helio went through on the business side. Obviously they're now part of Virgin Mobile, and so they've gone through a lot of changes. And it just kind of, makes me wonder if Helio had been able to stay afloat and kept being their own thing, what might they have brought out for the Ocean 2, instead of this? That's nothing against this product, but it's just kind of like they were ahead of their time. Now, in a way, they're almost playing catch-up, or at least, it's not quite as revolutionary. That being said, though, all in all, even though my search results are lagging here right now, let's go to the, let's hit URL. And the phone just crashed hard on me. So there you go. We'll have to leave that in the review for full-on evidence. But I'll do a little time lapse here so you don't have to wait for the phone to boot back up.